let's do this.
All right, let's do it. Check, check.
Check,
Is
check,
it working?
check. Okay. All right, we have 40 under 40, Jessica Covey.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let me just run through a little bit of who you are.
Okay.
Jessica K. Covey.
Yes.
Okay. Regional Hospice Care Coordinator.
That's correct. Yep.
Chamber of Commerce Ambassador.
Yes.
Illinois Women in Leadership Athena Award, and now you're the chair.
Yes.
Mom.
Yes.
Runner.
Yes.
Weezer fan?
No.
No? You don't like Weezer?
From like, yeah, okay, so I will say, like back in the day, like old school stuff. Yes.
Old school Weezer.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Like the
Yes.
Blue
Yeah.
album?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's a good one.
I used to play Tony Hawk and just like jam out to Weezer
Yeah.
until 3 in the morning. So
Uh-huh.
in college.
It's so funny because so my oldest daughter listens to like music like that or some of like the older music that we listen to.
Yep.
And she'll look at me whenever I'm listening to it.
Yep.
And she's like, "What are you doing?"
Yep.
And I'll ask her, "No, what are you doing?"
Yep.
I listened to this stuff.
This is mine. Nirvana is mine.
Yes.
Find your own. Pierce the veil, whatever it is.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I am really thankful you came in. Couple things as we start. Make sure the mic's up close to your mouth.
Okay.
It's your first podcast.
It is. It's my first podcast.
Let's go.
I'm excited.
Okay. A few questions for you. So you work in hospice care.
I do. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you do in the hospice care. You are the regional hospice care coordinator, but kind of outline what that means.
I'm all over the place.
Okay.
So I do a little bit of business development and then a little bit of like the clinical side. So, well, I take that back. I shouldn't say clinical because I'm not clinical. But so I'm in business development,
Okay.
right? But I also get to be with the patients and families too. So it's my job to go out to check in with all of the facilities, doctors' offices, hospitals, do educations with them, consultations, hospice presentations, and then of course, if any patients or families were to need anything, then I'm their first point of contact. So I go sit down, I have that initial first conversation with them, and then at that point, I start to gather all of the clinical information that my team would need to get them assessed and get that patient admitted to services, and then I follow them all along. If some of those patients are in facilities,
Yeah.
and hospice is wherever the home is for the patient. So it could be at home, a hotel,
Yeah.
a facility, from independent all across to long-term living. So anytime I have patients in those facilities, I always stop into the facilities, of course, check in with their team there,
Yeah.
to see if they need anything while I'm in the building,
Yeah.
but also check in with the patients and families while I'm there too. It's something that's really important to me.
How many times have you said that before? Because you nailed that one. Did you practice that in your mind before you came here?
I didn't.
No, because that was like flawless. It was like poetic. Just like, okay, I'm going through all the list of everything, and that was really wonderful. So,
Well, thank you. Also, I'm a communications major.
okay, me too. I wish I would have. Anyways, all right. Okay, so one of the things you said out of that is like home can be anywhere. Where's the most unusual place you found someone who has taken hospice care?
So before I was with the hospice company that I'm with now, I was with a previous hospice company, and home was at a hotel for that patient.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So, yep.
Okay, I'm really glad we started with this and you went through that kind of soliloquy because it actually, and I learned that you have actually worked in multiple hospice care facilities. So here's my question. You work in an industry of death, grief, loss, stress, coordinating all the families and healthcare at this pivotal time in their life.
Yeah.
Would that be fair to say?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Okay. So what's becoming more true for you the longer you do this work?
In all of that I would say I'm blessed to be able to say I feel like I'm living my purpose. I know that, and so one of the number one things that anybody that works in hospice or on my team would say that we get asked or get told when we tell people that we work in hospice is that, wow, that has to be hard, or I can't imagine how hard that is. But really just accepting where we're at with things, helping people and stepping into what I feel like is my purpose, truly.
So what's becoming more true for you is that you recognize this is your calling, this is your place, this is what you're like an energy. If the world has energy, you're swimming in a stream of that energy.
100%. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what. Have you ever not swam in that energy before for a job?
So I will say, so before hospice, I worked at the cancer center for Springfield Clinic for like 8 to 10 years or so, somewhere in that area. But so before I went to the cancer center, I was in a job in a position that I just didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know if that's what I wanted to do. You know, I had always had in the back of my head, is there something else that I'm supposed to do, or what else am I supposed to do? You know, so.
So working in that is what you're supposed to do, the hospice care, that end of life. I was thinking about your industry.
Mm-hmm.
The whole world is built on control.
Yeah.
Like controlling our image, controlling our diet, controlling our Facebook page, whatever it is. You're in an industry of surrender.
100%, yeah.
So like what have you learned from that rhythm of like when you're in hospice care, it is truly surrendering to death. It's surrendering to patient care. Like your patient care is now surrendering a little bit. Not that you're euthanasian or anything. But it's like you're surrender. It's a huge act of surrender.
Yeah, yeah.
What have you learned about surrender?
100%. So I always say with hospice, you don't get a do-over, right? With it, like you can go to other doctors' offices. There's other things that you can do and mess up, or they're just not right, right? But with hospice, you don't get a do-over with end of life, you know. So we want to make sure that we get it right from start to finish, and just make sure that it's not just the patient that's going through it; it's the patient and the family. So we want to make sure, of course, that everybody feels the support that they need from us and all of our team. Because you're right, they're surrendering.
They're surrendering.
Yeah. I had a patient actually at the beginning of the week. My oldest daughter, who's a teenager, will come out in the community with me sometimes. And
you bring your daughter?
To some of the facilities that I'm in and out of. The girls, the teams there love it. They love when she comes out in the community with me. Yes, yep. So she's very aware and very knowledgeable in what it is that I do. She did know that I was going in to go do a consultation and then move forward with consents and to schedule, this patient to be admitted for hospice. The patient was very welcoming and inviting, but when we had left, something that she had said to me and it was a moment of, she understands, she gets it, is that she said, Mom, she said, I sit here and I'm thinking about what I'm going to have for lunch, and this woman is planning for her death.
Yeah.
She said, I can't imagine what that feels like for her. And there's times that you'll have moments like that are humbling, know. There's other times that we're just in the thick of it, and we're just we're doing whatever we can to help the patients and the families and take that load off of them. But then you have moments like that your teenage daughter, says something like that to you, and you're like, it's a moment to humble you, to bring you back for a second. So she's exactly right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess you kind of named a little bit of it, but like where have you grown calloused and where have you grown softer in this process, right? Like that's how long you been in it? You said 10. So
before hospice, I was at the cancer center
right, you said the cancer center.
Yeah. So I will say, I feel like the cancer center prepared me for where I'm at.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
I say that, that we go through steps in life, and that was a stepping stone to get me to where I'm at now. It prepared me for this process.
Okay.
I will say, so, growing softer in that life is truly not that serious. There are things that and I tell my kids even, things that you're worried about today, or I was even having a conversation with somebody the other day that was going through a hard time, and I just told her, I said, just remember, what you're going through today is not what you're going to be going through in a couple of years from now, or even in a couple months from now. Yeah. So excuse me. But really just realizing and understanding that that life doesn't have to be, as serious as we make all of these things. It's okay. Things are okay.
The things we freak out about today. I am a classic. I freak out about a lot of things.
Yeah, that's okay.
So like if there's a ship and like a little screw is undone, I'm like, the ship's sinking. Like, yes. I'm that personality. My wife is not. She's like, oh, we'll get some things deducted. I'm like, no, you don't understand. We're done. Like, this thing's over. So I could use that. I could use a little bit more of that. What's that?
It's very realistic, right?
Her or me?
You. No, truly, it is. What?
Well, no, it's not realistic that we're going to, like, die or like we're all gonna die, but like the ship is gonna sink, but like it gets a lot of stuff done. I'm a tornado of energy. So like, so because I can freak out about the little things can get done, but like, I don't know if that's healthy for people to actually be around me. I stress her out. I stress everyone out. This is my life. Okay. All right. Next one. Okay. Last question here. What's a belief you had for hospice care?
Okay.
What's a belief you had 10 years ago, but now that you're in the hospice industry, like it's changed a little bit?
Just back to that I have to be in control of everything.
Yeah.
I don't have to be in control of everything. And again, it's what I'm not in control of, it's okay. I used to be somebody, that even would panic or freak out if things weren't going my way or they weren't in control or wasn't going the way that I felt like it was supposed to. It's no matter what, it's going to happen how it's supposed to happen, and that's okay.
Yeah. What's kind of like the biggest lesson you learned from hospice care? So like going in, working with the patients, like I'll tell you this, when as a pastor, one of the things I learned like right away, especially in death, was I would go into the room, and this is so bad. Like I did it twice. I stepped into the room where someone had died, and I said, "How's everyone doing?" Mm-hmm. Of course, no one's doing well. What am I doing saying that? So like, have you had a moment where you're like, I had to change this, I had to learn that? Little tips along the way?
Yeah, so and that's one of them actually, is that I don't go in and I don't ask, how are people doing? Or so one of the
You already
things
know
that
the answer.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I go in to do is one of my first questions is what can I do to help?
Yeah.
Where can I jump in at, right?
Yeah.
Do you need something to drink? Can I go get you and the family lunch? Like what can I bring for you guys? Because those are the things that they're not thinking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Makes a very good. No wonder you're 40 under 40. You show tremendous leadership in your job and passionate about it too. I'd imagine if you're in the 40 under 40, you have to be passionate about your job.
I am truly passionate about what it is that I get to do. And again, I feel like I'm living my purpose. And believe it or not, I used to be somebody that was incredibly scared of death. If you talked about death around me, any of those things, brought it up, I would panic. I would go into a panic that I couldn't breathe, that like I was hyperventilating. Yes, truly. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Something happened?
Well, so again, I felt like being at the cancer center prepared me for where I am now. But there was a patient in an instance at the last hospice company that I had worked for that had just. I always say that God put me there for a reason, and He put me in that moment for a reason, and it was exactly what I needed to let it all go and know that it's okay. So, yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want the community to know about the hospice care industry or your company in particular?
That we're go-getters.
We're go-getters.
Yes, we're go-getters. We're not afraid to jump in and help, that we're here for patients and families, and we're the best.
Okay. Okay. All right. So moving on to leadership, because you won an award, an Athena Award. Is that correct? Did I read that right?
So, no, I didn't win an Athena Award. I'm the Athena Award chair.
Oh, so that
Yes.
comma really does matter in a sentence.
It does.
Okay. It was Athena Award, comma, chair. And I just was like, whatever, forget the comma. Okay, so you chair the leadership. Tell me, what are you doing with that?
Okay, so I'm on the board of Illinois Women in Leadership, and then
Is this just for Central Illinois, or is it all of Illinois?
so this is for Central Illinois.
Okay.
And then so there's the Athena Awards that they do yearly,
Okay.
and then there's symposium. So with the Athena Awards, there's an Athena Award committee. I'm the chair of that committee. So and we're the ones that are responsible of planning the awards for the nominees in the community.
And do you determine who wins?
So no, so actually we don't determine who wins. People ask us that often, and then of course they ask us after judging if we can share who the winner was.
Yeah.
And of course we can't share who the winner is. There's only one person on our committee that knows who the winner is, that we select to have the knowledge. And then, so as far as the judges, we actually pick out leaders in the community that would be willing to judge the girls for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to bring this personal. I have a daughter. She is about 8 years ago. She was just getting run over by our boys, and they were just my two boys, and they were just like, and we pulled her aside. We said, you need to use your voice. Like, we want you to be strong and stand up. And of course, we reprimanded our boys, but
Yeah.
like, I think that was a pivotal moment in her life where she really started to become herself, and I would call her fierce.
Yeah.
So my question to you would be, how do you feel you're directly using your current role to inspire the younger generation of girls in our community to be in leadership? If you could just do that in a 3-part answer, that'd be wonderful.
I think really just so like back to, talking about your daughter, just her stepping into who she is, right?
Yeah.
Not letting people run over her or walk all over her or, things like that. Truly stepping into who it is that you are, not being afraid of that. I was somebody that was afraid to be who I was. For all of the various reasons, for a long time. Whenever I stepped into who I was, it was just such a freeing experience.
Yeah.
And it was almost like I can go anywhere and do anything that I want to do.
Are you doing anything actively in our community? So that was a personal transformation. Are you part of a mentorship? Are you part of something that's like helping guide other young leaders in the community?
I'm not. That's
Okay.
actually something that I'd like to get into.
Yeah, that's not like a gotcha question.
Yes.
It's just
No,
yeah.
absolutely. So I was, and I recently stepped down from this about a little over 6 months or so ago because it was just so much on my plate. But I was a court-appointed special advocate for kids that are in the foster care community, that have been like abused and
Yeah.
neglected and all of that. So of course it was my job. It was a volunteer position to be there for the kids and then report back to the judge what I felt like was in their best interest at the time.
Our
But
oldest is we foster to adopt, and that's a very heavy position and
It was
very important position.
100%. So so getting to be
Foster
with
care system's broken.
Oh, 1,000%. So, and my 2 court cases that I did have were they were teenage children. So, and it was one of the best things for
Teenage
me.
children have been forgotten in the system.
1,000%. They're the ones that are forgotten.
Yeah.
So they have feelings. They're people, and they need somebody too.
Yeah.
So
So you're in this leadership committee. You're in this leadership pipeline. What, without going into specifics, what's kind of like, let me ask it specifically. Tell me about the biggest failure that became your greatest teacher. Without going into specifics, because I think failure, it can be incredibly well spent. It's only a failure if you don't learn from it. What's kind of like a failure that you're like, yeah, I learned a lot from that interaction, that moment, that situation?
so
Because I really truly believe if there's a leader out there who's like, I have not made a decision where most people are unhappy with it at one point in time, I don't know how good of a leader you are. Because like, you really have to have a small group. Like, there are times when you have to make a decision which is right for the company that might not be the best thing for the entire. I'm not saying you do that like every day and every time, but like, there are these moments in time where it's like you really become like Batman, the Dark Knight. Like, you really are like,
Yeah,
oof, I'm public
1,000%.
enemy number one.
Oh, for sure. I always say that success is nothing but failure over and over and over again until we get it right, right?
Okay.
And it is truly,
Yeah.
A moment that I'd say that was like an aha moment. I'd probably say in the beginning of my career, the beginning of my career in hospice. That's a good question.
Okay.
I've had a couple.
Time to ruminate. You need
Yes,
to ruminate on
yes,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, people, as a pastor, when I hire people, if somebody comes off as perfect or somebody comes off as without walking with a limp, like, I steer clear of them so fast. They could have the perfect resume. We could fit chemistry wise, but if you can't tell me a time where you felt like you just blew it,
Oh, yeah.
like, I don't want you on my team because I don't want to have to go through that experience with you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you become toxic, but it's part of life of growing.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah, but if you can't tell me that,
Yeah. The accepting the accountability of being
Yeah.
wrong in that moment, and then also connecting with people to let them know that you're a real person, right?
Sure.
You know, there's so many things that I do in the community, but whenever I connect with people and I let people know, like, hey, I probably had a worse morning than you did. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And people, they think to myself, it's like a connection with me and them. And they're like, oh my goodness, it's an aha moment for them. Like, she's a real person. Yes, I'm a real person. You know,
Yeah.
I'm out here, but I'm not perfect, truly.
Sure.
So the beginning of whenever I had stepped into hospice, and it was one of those moments that I was new to hospice. I didn't know all of the right things to say. So just going in and just saying some of the wrong things, and then
Yeah.
thinking back, and I was just like, oh my gosh, why didn't somebody stop me from talking? You know, I completely offended that family.
So
and not
yours is
just-
an individual failure. I hate using the word failure, but individual failure rather than like a systematic failure.
So I would say both, actually.
I got plenty
So-
of both on my side.
Yes, oh, for sure. So the beginning of when I had stepped into hospice, of
Yeah.
course, went in to see a family and visit with them, that the loved one had passed, the loved one is still there, and I just said a lot of the wrong things. My clinical team was there too, and I felt like I just put us in a bad situation, you know? So it was a lot of like cleanup and going back to the family and just reaching out and asking, you know, hey, what are things that we can do for you, or how can I help? Again, you don't forget end of life experiences.
No, you
So
don't.
that was something that was, you know, an aha moment for me. Another was, without getting into specifics, there's certain documentation that has to be signed before loved ones can, you know, have funeral services and that. One of our patients, documentation. Yeah.
I think sometimes you have to learn the importance. I actually just had a conversation with somebody today before you came on the show, and it was about a thing that happened in a room, and like I was like, oh, but we have to think through the lens of what it means for the institution.
Yeah.
Me personally, don't care what happens as an institution, and that only comes about because I've failed in the past to think about it.
Yes, yep, absolutely.
So, yeah, failure is not the worst thing. It just needs to be well spent in your development.
Oh, 100%. I was able to learn from both experiences. I have the best leadership team that I was able to reach out, you know, to
Okay.
for both experiences, that were able to help lead and walk me through both of them. So,
Good.
yeah, truly.
Last question here, and then we're going to do something afterwards. Is that cool?
Okay, I'm here for it.
All right. What part of your leadership can never be measured on a resume, but it's the thing you're most proud of? And I have had this upside down the entire time. You got to help me out. I mean, what's going on? You got to help me out.
So I saw it, and actually, it's so funny because
This is upside down.
Because I thought to myself, well, maybe because it's on camera, it's
It
gonna
flips.
show up.
Man, failure today. All right.
That's okay. We're real people. We're humans.
Yo, yes. So let me reread it. What part of your leadership can never be measured on a resume, but it is the thing you're most proud of? I read that upside down and backwards, by the way.
You did good, my
I
friend.
know,
You
I
did.
know.
Just making sure that you're there and you show up for people, that you do do the things that you say that you're going to do. You follow through and follow up with them.
So integrity and availability?
100%. Integrity, accountability, availability. Yeah.
Okay.
All of those things.
You
Truly.
would say those are the things that you can't measure, but you as a person, it's not going on your resume, but integrity and availability.
100%. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you have anything else you'd like to share?
I don't know.
That's a no.
What?
That's a no.
That's a no.
Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it.
Thanks.